Welcome to Day 2, Session 2 of 2024 Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals. I'm your host, Adriana Davis, joined in the booth by none other than Tim Thibodeau. And this session, we are going to have we're going to have a lot of different divisions this session. We're already getting started on Platform 1. Cynthia Smith in the Masters 1 division.
Oh, a little bit of a mishap there on one.
Yeah, I don't think she's hurt. I think it was just a little bit of a mishap.
Yeah.
She smiled it off. But in this session, we're going to have a multitude of different divisions. We're going to have all the Masters 1 lifters who are not in the primetime session later today. We're also going to have the female sub-junior 84 and 84 plus division, as well as the male sub-juniors 93 kilos and up. And if you're following along on the stream, you can keep up with what division we are in by looking at the layover at the bottom of your screen. And on Platform 1, that was a no lift for Cynthia Smith. Maybe it was a good lift. The refs are looking a little bit confused. Okay, that was a good lift for Cynthia Smith. They're going to work to get that fixed. Just a little bit of technical difficulties there. On Platform 2, Jeremiah Cruz, 175 for his opening attempt. Now, just a reminder, the Masters 1 division is going to consist of lifters in their 40s, while the sub-junior division is going to consist of lifters 18 and under. That was a good lift on 2. Joyce on Platform 1, walking out to 85 kilos.
Platform 2, we've got Roland Hoskins III coming out for his opening squat out, 190 kilos. Sub-junior lifter, so we've got sort of both ends of the spectrum here today. We've got the youngest lifters and some of our more older seasoned lifters.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing with these sub-junior lifters. You could say, oh, this lifter doesn't have a lot of experience. Well, that's pretty much all of them, since they are literally teenagers just getting into the sport. The more seasoned sub-juniors will probably be lifting for about 2 or 3 years, or at least competing. Platform 1, we got Annette Morgan, 92.5 for her opening attempt. Annette has competed at the Masters World Championships. She competed last year. She's actually the reigning national champion in the 69 kilo class. And 3 white lights, it's a good lift for her.
That's on Platform 1, Rachel Coogan. That's on Platform 3.
Platform 1, Rachel walking out to 92.5 for her opening attempt.
Platform 2, we've got Stephen Newman coming up, 212.5, and again, just really emphasizing here, these are the youngest lifters in the federation, and they're already on a national stage, so it's really great that they're getting exposure this young.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of them, this is going to be their first time on the national stage. And it's just invaluable experience to pick up, especially for some of them looking to pick up a world's team spot. They're going to want this experience with more, stricter standards across the board. Judges who've got experience in the game, making it just a stricter standard than what you would find at the local level. Platform 1, Lindsay, 95 kilos. Platform 2, Adam, walking out to 215 kilos. Pretty speedy opener on 2. And that's a good lift, 3 white lights. On 1, that was also a good lift.
platform 1, Claire Crawford. Next up on platform 3, Colin Baldwin.
Platform 1, Claire Crawford, 102.5 for her opening attempt. Platform 2, Colin, 220.
Very heavy opener.
Exactly, rapidly approaching the 500-pound mark. A bit
All right.
tough for an opening attempt, though.
Yeah, we'll see how much more he has left after that.
Yeah, probably I would take a conservative jump from there.
7.5 at most.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had some sort of misgrooves too, and oftentimes that first squat, sometimes it does move a little bit slower than your second just because you're getting those nerves out. A lot of these lifters, it might be the first time on the national stage.
The equipment, too. A lot of people might not be like accustomed to training on calibrated equipment, and it's definitely different
feels
than
different.
yeah.
Platform 1, Eleanor, 105 for her opening attempt. Depth looked good from here. Platform 2, Angelo, 225. Surely going to go over 500 pounds by his second, third attempt.
Oh, yeah.
That looked clean. Clean and easy.
Exactly how an opener should look.
Now, Platform 1, Joan Hahn. We are in for an interesting battle in the Masters 169 kilo division. Joan is going to be right in the thick of it with Pamela Riley and Katie Achille. Currently, all three lifters are forecasted on the exact same weight. If they continue to execute throughout the day, this could come down to the last deadlift. That looked good for Joan's opener.
David's got a little bit of a crowd here. And sometimes you need that during a meet. Really gets those,
adrenaline.
nerves out. Good
Yep.
lift on 2.
Next up on platform 3, Mason Ross.
And on Platform 1, Pamela Riley, 110 for her opening attempt. Again, she's going to be right in the thick of it with Joan Hahn and Katie Achille. And the nice thing is, they're going to be going back to back to back. We can kind of compare the speeds, compare how it looks. These openers give an indication of perhaps how the whole day will go. That looked good for Pamela. Should be good. On Platform 2, Mason Ross, 232.5 for his opening attempt.
Very easy opener on 2.
Yeah, and Mason currently forecasted ahead in the 105 kilo sub-junior division. Stephen Newman isn't too far behind him, but Mason, if he continues to execute throughout the day, should be good for the title, but he's got to execute. Katie Achille in that 69 kilo battle opens up with 115, 250 pounds, the Masters 1 lifter. Moved pretty handedly.
Got William Ball on 2, and just taking a look, he weighed in over 2 kilos light. So just the fact that he could really grow into the 93 class, that's just impressive.
Yep, I mean, William's been building into the class, moved up from the 83s.
Wow.
265 kilos moving like that. And just for reference, the current world record in the class is 288. He could definitely be getting close to that or even surpass it by his third attempt. Amy Hutchinson, Platform 1, 142.5 kilos for the Masters 1 lifter.
Very good opener for her.
Yeah, I mean, 314 pounds. Amy's forecasted pretty well ahead in that Masters 1 84 kilo division.
Got Cynthia coming back out on 1. We're going to see if she could recover from that little mishap that happened on her opening attempt.
Cynthia Smith. Next on platform 3, Jared Cruz.
All right, Cynthia's still got plenty of time on Platform 1.
Yeah, had that little bit of a mishap there. Platform 2, Jeremiah Cruz in the Masters 193 kilo division, jumping up to 182.5. There we go.
There
that looks
it
good
is.
for Cynthia.
Should be a good lift. And she's
White
on the
lights.
board.
Big sigh of relief, especially after the mishap on the opener.
It's never fun missing your opening attempt.
Moved pretty well on 2 for Jeremiah. 3 white lights. Judges agree.
So next up, platform 3, Rowan Hoskins.
Platform 1, Cherry Tan, 80 kilos for her second attempt. Platform 2, Rowlin, 200 kilos for his second attempt. 105 kilo sub-junior lifter.
Little bit of a struggle on 1, but depth seemed good. We'll see what the judges say on that.
There
Good
it is,
lift.
3 white lights. And yeah, I'd probably, I mean, she took a 10 kilo jump. I'd probably take, and they probably will take less than 10, a little bit more conservative
Yep.
for the third attempt.
Platform 1, Joyce Quinn. Next up on platform 3, Jacob May.
Jacob Main is going to come out on 2 to 215 kilos. Joyce on 1, 90 kilos for her second attempt. Pretty clean. 3 white lights, judges agree.
So that's one thing to pay attention to on platform 2. You cannot have your wrist wrap loops on your thumbs. That's why Jacob got the call to re-rack the bar. Good catch.
Platform 1, Rachel, 97.5 for her second attempt.
Little heavy for Jacob, but he's got another opportunity to take that on his third. So one thing happening on 2 really quickly, we have a little bit of an order change. So we've got Colin and Steven after him taking the same weight, but even though Steven opened up lighter than Colin, because Colin has the lower lot number, he's going to be going first with this weight of 225 kilos.
Over on platform 3, Colin Baldwin.
All right, little too heavy there.
Yeah, a bit worrying since he only jumped 5 kilos from his opener. But at least what I would say as a handler, at least you've got your opener in.
Exactly.
And then he just really has to focus up, lock in, come back for the third attempt. And it's difficult to miss it on your second and try to compartmentalize and just think about getting it on your third. But it's just what you have to do. You've seen miracles happen. On 1, unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Annette. Missed it on depth. Stephen Newman, platform 2, 225 for his second attempt. Currently forecasted second in that 105 kilo division, following behind Mason Ross. So if Mason kind of drops the ball, then Stephen could come in there. Platform 1, Lindsay, 102.5 for her second attempt. Smooth all the way through, a bit slower, but of course that's what you expect from a second attempt. It's going to be slower than your opener, but hopefully not too hard, too close to the top end where it's going to gas you for that third attempt.
Got Adam Bregman here on 2, jumping 10 kilos. His opener did look very smooth, so the jump makes sense.
Oh, he buried that.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, might have buried it a little too much. But yeah, it looked clean. 3 white lights.
We'll
Good
see how
lift.
much he goes up after that, because it was a little bit more of a struggle than it should be on a second attempt.
Platform 1, Claire, 110 for her second attempt. There's in that 69 kilo division.
We'll see what the judges say on that, because at least from our angle, it did look a hair high, but judges say 3 white lights.
Next up on platform 1, Eleanor Gaze.
Platform 1, Eleanor coming out to 112.5. She's in the 63 kilo division, currently forecasted well ahead. Just going to continue to execute on the day, lock up that national championship win. Eleanor does have experience on the national stage before. Placed second at last year's nationals.
Solid attempt from Angelo on 2, jumping 12 kilos.
Next up on platform 1, Joan Ha. Next up on platform 3, David Strochin.
Platform 2, David going to come out to 242.5 for his second attempt. David has competed on the international stage. He went on to compete at the NAPF Championships last year in the Cayman Islands. Platform 1, Joan Han, in that tight 69 kilo battle between her,
Oh.
Pamela, and Katie. Oh, what happened there on 2?
He's going to be getting blues on that. So what happened was, as soon as he hit the top, he sort of stepped back a little bit before getting the rack command.
Oh, right. Between commands, you have got to keep the same footprint, so you can't take a step forward, backward, or sideways. And that is just to ensure that each lifter shows that they're in full control of the lift.
Yeah.
Just setting a standard across the board for us to meet. Now, Pamela Riley, Joan Han just went with 117.5. They're going back to back with these attempts here. Pamela Riley taking the exact same weight as Joan Han. Compare their speeds here. Depth look good. A little sticky, but nothing too slow for Pamela. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. This is going to be Pamela's first time on the national stage. And what a debut, being right in that battle. Mason
Solid
on
attempt
2.
from Mason.
Yep, and Mason leads the way in that class.
So William going 282.5, and that is just shy of the current world record of 288 kilos. So depending on how this moves, we might see that record fall today.
Platform 1 for Katie, that was a good lift, and if you're comparing speeds, Katie's second attempt moved a little bit faster than Pamela's. So they're really just going back and forth here. Seems like a battle that's gonna come down to the last deadlift at the end of the day. And it's also gonna be Katie's first time on the national stage.
And good lift for William. I think we're going to see 288.5 at least.
We're really, we saw the same thing this morning in Esperanza Delgado and Eleni Guerrera. Just some phenomenal, just standout performances. Amy Hutchinson, speaking of standout performances, currently forecasted ahead in the 84 kilo division, crushed 150 kilos on her second attempt.
Platform 1, Cynthia Smith.
We are already into third attempts on both platforms, really flying through these attempts. And that's another factor that these lifters have to consider.
Yes.
Just the speed of the meet, just because of the caliber of spotters and loaders, keeping things efficient. And it's something you got to adapt to if you're used to waiting 15 plus minutes in the gym between attempts.
It's a fight on 2. I didn't see any downward motion on the bar. We'll see what the judges say.
Yeah, I thought it looked good.
Oh. All right. A little bit of down and up there.
Yeah, spoke a little too soon, but of course we just have the front angle view. The judges have the best seat in the house to judge these
Next
lifts.
up on platform 1, Sherry Tan.
So William opting to go 295.5.
As a 93 kilo sub-junior lifter, that's a good squat for an open division
Yeah.
competitor. I'm really excited to see that squat. Sherry on 1, taking just the minimum 2.5 kilo jump. And yeah, I think that was the right call. Fighting through that sticking point. She was ready for it.
It's a fight on 2. We'll see what the judges say on that.
Next up on platform 1.
2-1. 2-1.
Coming up next on platform 3.
On platform 1, Annette Morgan getting set up with 95 kilos for her final attempt. And that's been on the world stage before. Oh, excuse me. Joyce is coming out to 95 kilos. Three white lights. It's a good lift for Joyce. She goes 3 for 3. Now Annette's coming out to 102.5 kilos. Missed 100 kilos based on depth. Opting to go up anyways. It's a little bit dicey, but she's been on the world stage before. She's not going to come out flustered by this. She's coming out cool, calm, collected.
Solid third from Roland. Now Jacob, even though it was, at least from our angle, a strength issue, decided to go up 2.5 kilos to 217.5.
Yeah, interesting choice there. I want to see how this plays out. I've seen miracles happen.
Yeah. At this point, you don't have anything to lose because you're already on the board in the meet.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be a whole different story if he didn't have a lift in, but since he's got that opener, it's like a sense of security, you know? On one, that was a good lift for Annette. The risk pay off. Hopefully the risk can pay off for Jacob as well on 2.
Next up platform 1. Rachel Julian.
And just a little too heavy on the day. It's fine. We'll see him back again for bench.
Yeah, he does walk away with his opener. And as a coach, coming back there, you didn't have the best squat event. You've got to just tell these lifters to compartmentalize, leave the squats behind. Have a goal coming into bench and deadlift to try to not miss a lift the rest of the day.
Yeah. The worst thing you could do is let your ego get in the way for the rest of the meet. Colin retaking his last attempt, but again, just a little too heavy on the day. But the good thing is all these lifters are still in the meet, so even if they miss their thirds, we're going to see them again for bench.
Platform 1, Lindsay, 105 kilos for her final attempt, trying to go 3 for 3. Ooh, it's a good fight from her. Three white lights, it's a good lift. 3 for 3 on the day. Platform 2, Stephen Newman, 232.5, over 500 pounds. Sitting pretty solidly in second place.
Looked better than his second.
Yeah, that was a really clean squat. You know what? I remember his second, he kind of dive bombed it a little bit too much.
Yep.
Still went up 7.5 kilos and it moved well. Conserve some energy leading into bench and deadlift. Platform 1, Claire, 115 kilos for her final squat attempt of the day.
Oh, it's a fight, but a little too heavy. Still walking away with 110 kilos.
Platform 2, Adam, 232.5 for his final attempt. Again, sub-junior lifters.
A lot more control on that, and it's a fight.
Yeah, he's ready for the fight. Sticks with it. Judges say 3 white lights, good lift. Platform 1, Eleanor, 120 kilos for her final squat attempt. These master lifters, I'm telling you, they can grind through these lifts. They've got a lot of heart. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Eleanor.
Next up on platform 1,
Platform 2, Angelo, 242.5 for his final attempt. Platform 1, Pamela Riley, right in the mix of it with Joan Hahn and Katie Achille for the Masters 1 69 kilo national title. Every lift is going to count. Execution has to be on point. Building the best total you can to contend with the other lifters.
Little shaky at the top. I'm not sure if I saw his knees buckle, but 2-1.
Yep, 2-1. On platform 1, that was a good lift from Pamela. Going 3 for 3, really building that momentum, especially if you're in a battle, such a tight battle where every kilo is going to count. It could
Yep.
come down to 2.5 kilos. It could come down to body weight.
Now David, right here, had a little bit of a mishap on his last attempt where he took a step back after completing the lift. So all he needs to do is stay in control of the bar because he definitely has the strength today.
Yeah, that's likely why he opted to go up 2.5 kilos.
So much better.
Yep.
So much better.
Keeps in control.
3 whites.
Platform 1, Joan Han, 125 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump. How is she going to handle this?
I'd say pretty well.
Yeah, with ease.
Definitely happy about that.
Being coached there by Susie Hartwick-Gary. Mason Ross, our leader in the 105 kilo division. 252.5, over 550 pounds for the sub-junior lifter. Platform 1, Katie Achille, our last in that battle to hit her third squat, and she hits it. What did the judges say? 127.5, 280 pounds. Oh,
2-1.
2-1. I'm not exactly sure what that call was for.
We're going to see, yep, going over to the jury right now.
Erin's coaching her, walking over to that jury, having that conversation. Jury members going to ask the referees what that was for, but could potentially see that get overturned, just depending what the call was for. Gonna keep an eye on that.
Solid third on platform 2 from Mason.
Yeah, Mason's starting off strong. Platform 1, Amy Hutchinson, has the experience in the world stage, has placed bronze at Worlds. I'll try to return to that stage here. 157.5. Strong squat from her. 3 white lights, it's a good lift.
Now we've got William Ball closing out the flight with 295.5. This is 7.5
Insane.
over the current record.
Insane. Let's see it. 650 pounds. Oh my
Wow.
gosh. It moved
Wow.
like an opener. William Ball, everyone. 295.5. Unofficially breaks the sub-junior squat world record. Being coached there by Steven Singleton. In for a phenomenal performance if he's starting off the day that well. Super excited to see what he does. Now we're going to roll straight into flight B on both platforms. Platform 1, Aaron Hall getting us started with 112.5 kilos.
And Aaron is on the board.
Next up, platform 1, Diane Arthur.
Platform 1, Diane, 117.5 for her opening attempt. In the Masters 1 division, 84 plus kilos. Currently forecast in 3rd place.
Got Sage back, coming out on platform 2, opening squat at 90 kilos.
Look pretty good.
Good lift.
Platform 1, Nefertiti Borders.
Nefertiti on 1 coming out to 132.5.
Next on platform 3, Shanti Kausa.
Shanti Khalsa coming up on platform 2, opening squat of 150 kilos. And on platform 1, good lift.
150 kilos moves so well.
Very
for her
solid
opening
opener.
attempt. Currently forecasted pretty well ahead in that 84 plus kilo sub-junior division.
Platform 3.
Now Michelle Harrell on platform 1. Again, based on forecast total, doesn't tell the whole story, but just gives some sort of indication of the day. Michelle opening up with 150, currently forecasted well ahead in the 84 plus kilo Masters 1 division. Three white lights for Michelle, a good lift, starting out strong at her national stage debut. Platform 2, that was a good lift for Alex Crooks in the Masters 1 120 plus division. Platform 1, Rebecca, 155 kilos, has that Team USA singlet. She's been to the NAPF championships. Gonna be hoping to return to an international stage. It's almost a pause squat. Platform 2 for John looked pretty easy for his opening attempt at 180 kilos. Good lifts on both platforms.
Platform 1. Huayu Chan. Next up on platform 3. Eric Taylor.
Platform 1, Huayu Tan, 160 kilos for his opening attempt. Huayu has competed on the international stage many times. Previous NAPF champion, or excuse me, reigning NAPF two-time champion, has been to Masters Worlds.
Seems like good lifts on both platforms.
Next up on platform 1. Ron Brinker. Next up on platform 3. Ryan Donnelly.
Platform 2, Ryan, 200 kilos for his opening attempt. Platform 1, Ron Brinker, 167.5, has been on the international stage many times. Gonna be looking to return to that stage.
Taking his time on his walkout.
Yeah, really, I think when lifters take their time, they're not super rushed. They're very calm. It kind of shows how much experience they have.
Yeah, it's very easy to just get excited. Your entire setup falls apart, and then you sometimes end up missing lifts. But we don't see too much of that on the national stage. These lifters definitely know what they're doing. We've got Barbell Brigade legend Bart Kwan on platform 1, opening with 172.5. And I want to say that Bart has dropped a weight class. He's competing 83.
Yeah, Bart is legendary in the Barbell Brigade community.
Very easy opener from Bart.
Being handled by Kyle De Leon. Platform 2, Atreyu Vest, sub-junior lifter, 225 kilos for his opening attempt.
Very solid opener from Atreyu. The fact we're seeing lifters this young lifting that much weight goes to show how far the sport has come over the years.
Exactly, the sport is just growing, the talent pool is growing, meaning that we're gonna get more competition, more battles. It's a really good time to be in the sport right now. Platform 1, Tuan Wen, 177.5, currently forecasted first in that Masters 166 kilo division. Gonna be hoping to pick up a national title, potentially get on the world's team. Oh yeah, easy opener. Through our lights, it's a good lift. Platform 2, Timothy, 240 kilos for his opening attempt.
That's from on platform 1, Jonathan Hebrew. Coming on platform 3, Michael Jean Sr.
Platform 1, Jonathan, 180 kilos for his opening attempt in that Masters 183 kilo division, currently forecasted in second. Platform 2, Michael Jean Sr., 250 kilos for his opening attempt. Michael Jean has been on the international stage before, actually placed bronze at last year's Masters Worlds. Through it, lights a good lift on 1.
Solid opener from Michael.
Through our lights, it's a good lift. Platform 1, Ben Chu, 190 kilos for his opening attempt. Moved pretty well. Judges say 3 white lights, a good lift. Platform 2, Trevor Klein, sub-junior 120 kilo lifter, 267.5.
Very easy opener from Trevor.
Through our lights, good lift. Yeah, and Trevor's competed on the international stage before, actually placed 5th at last year's sub-junior worlds. Anthony Perkins, 225 for his opening attempt, leading the way in the Masters 183 kilo division.
We're inching closer and closer to seeing a 600-pound squat on platform 2 with Michael opening with 270 kilos.
Wow.
595 pounds.
It's going to be Michael's first time on the national stage, opening up just under 600 pounds.
Three white lights.
Platform 1, we're back to the top of the order with Aaron Hall, 120 kilos.
Platform 1, we have Aaron Hall. Next up on platform 3, we have Ryan Musto.
Ryan on 2, coming out to 280 kilos, gonna end off our flight of opening attempts on 2. 280 kilos, 617 pounds that he's putting on his back. On platform 1, that was a good lift, 2-1.
A little bit of a lower rack height for someone this tall, but if it works, it works.
Yeah, moved fairly well. He's a sub-junior lifter. 3 white lights, good lift.
Coming on platform 3, Sage back.
125 kilos on 1, moves pretty well for Diane's second attempt. Platform 2, Sage back. Sub-junior lifter, 100 kilos on the bar for her. Platform 1, Nefertiti, 137.5, just above 300 pounds for her second attempt.
Looked smooth on platform 2, sort of like her opener. 3 white lights.
On platform 1, it looked good. Depth looked good from here. Judges agree, 3 white lights.
Platform 1, Michelle Hill. Next up on platform 3, Shanti Khalsa.
Platform 2, Shanti Khalsa, 160 kilos for the sub-junior lifter. Forecasted well ahead in the 84 plus kilo class. Platform 1, Michelle, taking just a minimum 2.5 kilo jump to 152.5. Moved pretty decent, a little sticky out of the hole. 3 white lights on 2, and 2 to 1 call on 1, but still a good lift.
Platform 1, Rebecca Rakowski. Platform 2, Alex Crooks.
Rebecca on platform 1, 162.5 for her second attempt, 358 pounds for the Masters 1 lifter, currently forecasted in second place. Pretty good spread between her and first place, although if Michelle Harrell starts to drop the ball, then Rebecca could very well come in there, steal that title away from her.
Solid attempt from Alex on platform 2, taking a 10 kilo jump. And 2 to 1, no lift.
Going on platform 3, John Edwardson.
Yeah, Rebecca's here to fight today.
Next up on platform 1, Hanyu Tan.
Platform 2, John getting set up with 192.5.
Solid second attempt from John. Good lift.
Platform 1, Payu Tan, 170 kilos for his second attempt. Has been on the international stage prior. Oh, the fight comes, but he's ready for it.
He knows how to grind. Definitely an underrated skill in powerlifting.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a good lift from Payu. Platform 2, Eric Taylor, 202.5 for his second attempt. Looks good to me, and it is 3 white lights. Platform 1, Ron Brinker, 177.5 for his second attempt.
Ryan Donnelly taking a 25 kilo jump, which makes
Wow.
sense because his opener was very, very easy.
From platform 3, Ryan Donnelly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was easy on platform 2, even after a 25 kilo jump.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see another one.
Platform 1, Ron gets that second attempt. A little bit difficult for a second attempt. I imagine he'll take a relatively more conservative jump.
Got Bart coming back out on platform 1, taking a 10 kilo jump to 182.5. And Tim Brockett on platform 2, taking a 20 kilo jump to 225.
Big jumps have been the trend on platform 2. Just comes down to lifter preference, comes down to how the game day coach likes to handle. Yeah, I moved well on 1 for Bart Kwan. 3 white lights is a good lift.
Next up on platform 1, Twan Win. Coming up on platform 3, a true fast.
Platform 1, Tuan Wen coming out to 187.5. Again, Tuan is leading the way in the Masters 166 kilo division. Gonna be trying to put up the highest total he can, try to lock up that title, national title, so he could potentially get on a world's team spot. That moved very easy. Pirouettes, it's a good lift.
Atreyu vest on 2. Looks like a pretty good second attempt. 3 white lights.
Next on platform 3, Timothy Mercer. Next up on platform 1, Jonathan Hebrew.
Platform 1, Jonathan, 190 kilos for his second attempt. Platform 2, Timothy Mercer, 250 kilos for his second attempt. Currently in the lead in that 120 kilo division. Moved fairly well for Jonathan on 1. Through our lights, it's a good lift.
And same thing on platform 2. Good lift.
Next on platform 1, Benchu. Next up on platform 3 is Michael Jean Sr.
Michael Jean coming out for 265. Currently forecasted second. Their forecasted is only 10 kilos difference, so we'll definitely see how this game plays out.
Yeah, that could shape up to be a good battle of the Michaels between Michael Andrew and Michael Jean Sr. Ooh,
So
big
fight on
grind
2.
on 1.
See what the judges say on that.
Good lift, through white lights.
Next up on platform 1, Anthony Perkins.
Solid attempt on 2. 3 white lights.
Platform 1, Anthony Perkins, 240 kilos for his second attempt. Anthony forecasted pretty much with a big gap between him and second place. Just has to continue to execute on the day to lock up that national title. He placed 4th at last year's nationals, trying to move up in positioning. Fights through that sticking point. Through our lights, good lift on 1. Trevor Klein, 285 kilos, 628 pounds, and he handles it with ease as a sub-junior lifter. Through our lights, it's a good lift for Trevor.
Next up on platform 3, Michael Andrew.
Michael on 2, jumping 15 kilos to 285.
Seems to be a popular number, a popular range on platform 2. Platform 1, Aaron Hall, taking the minimum jump to 122.5. We are early on 3rd attempts on that platform.
Solid second attempt on platform 2.
And saw a 3rd attempt on 1 with Aaron.
2-1 for Michael. Good lift.
Through our lights for Aaron. Good lifts all around. On platform 2, we're going to have Ryan Musto. In kind of a bit of a battle between him and Trevor Klein. Ryan's currently in the lead, but not by too much. If Ryan starts to slip up, maybe miss a 3rd squat, 3rd bench, Trevor could really come in and take that title away from him. Platform 1, Diane Arthur, 132.5, 292 pounds. Ooh, good call
Solid
there.
third attempt.
Good lift, 3 white lights.
That's about platform 1.
Ryan Musto, again, in that battle with Trevor Klein. Want to see how this moves.
Oh.
Oh, man. Fortunately, it's going to be a no lift for Ryan. Could come back and try to fight through it on his third, and he likely will, given that he's going to need those extra kilos in the battle against Trevor, especially if Trevor comes back and hits his third. Now for TT on platform 1 at 142.5, 215 pounds. Handles it very, very well there. It's a good lift.
Sage is back for her third attempt, 107.5. Easy third attempt.
Michelle on 155 for her third and final squat attempt, leading the way in that Masters 184 kilo plus division. Yeah, that moved good. Conserved a lot of energy there.
Oh,
I spoke too
all
soon.
3 on depth.
Thought that it was not deep enough. Now she did just jump 2.5 kilos, so not too big of a loss. And you cannot have the jury overturn that just because it was a unanimous call from the platform referees. Rebecca,
Shanti on 2 with a
big
fight.
squat from the sub-junior lifter.
She's excited about that.
I would be too. 167.5, 3 white lights, good lift. Rebecca on 1 has been on the international stage. 167.5 for her third and final attempt. Again, big squat here.
And
Wow,
she stuck through
really
it.
good call. Great call there from the coaching staff. 3 white lights, good lift. Alex Crooks missed his second attempt, opted to come back and retake it. His second attempt got a yellow card and a red card, so one was for depth, other one we're not completely sure. Two to one, it's a good lift. Platform 1, Huayu Tan, 172.5, taking just the minimum 2.5 kilo jump. I mean, he's projected ahead in that 66 kilo class. Doesn't need to go crazy with his attempts. That's why they just went 2.5.
Yep. Yeah, second attempt definitely was a little bit of a fight for him.
Platform 2, really good squat from John, 197.5. 3 white lights, good lift. Ron Brinker on 1. 182.5. Big squat here, just over 400 pounds. This will give him a, Ron's been on the international stage before, not gonna get rattled by the level of judging, the standards. Clean walkout there.
Sticks through it.
Really good attempt there from Ron Brinker.
Let's see from Eric. Good call for his third. 2 to 1, good lift.
Next up on platform 3, we've got Tim Rocket.
Platform 1, Jonathan Hebrero. Another lifter taking just the minimum jump you can, 192.5. Being coached by legendary Stephen Singleton. Looked pretty clean, especially for a third attempt. I thought that was a second.
Might be saving some energy for deadlifts.
Platform 2, that was a no lift for Tim.
Coming off platform 1,
Bart
we got
Kwan on 1,
Kwan.
taking even 10 kilo jumps across the board.
Platform 3, we've got True Vest.
Etryu on 2, going to come out to 242.5. I mean, sizably leading the way in the 120 plus kilo division. Looks like Etryu buried
Solid
it.
third.
Yeah, that was a really good call.
And solid third attempt from Bart also.
Right, good lift.
Next on platform 1, we got Squad Win. Platform 3, Ryan Donnelly.
Ryan taking another sizable jump to 245
kilos.
kilos.
I mean, if we remember, his second attempt moved pretty fast. Taking a 20 kilo jump. Big pros and cons with these larger jumps. See how he handles this.
Oh, yeah.
With ease.
Definitely a squatter.
Through our lights, it's a good lift.
Next up on
Platform 1, Tuan Wen, 195 kilos for the 66 kilo lifter.
He didn't let that misstep bother him one bit.
Yeah.
Smoked that third.
Moved fairly well. Through our lights, it's a good lift.
Next up on platform 1, Benchu.
Platform 2, Timothy, 262.5 for his final attempt. Really good squat there.
Solid third.
578 pounds. Very well. Benchu, 207.5 kilos. That 83 kilo division.
It's a fight.
These master lifters, they're gritty. They're gritty. They know how to fight. Well, that's a good lift.
Michael G. Sr. Platform 1.
Michael Jean Sr. going to be trying to take 15 kilo jumps across the board. Michael's competed at the international stage before, both at NAPF and the IPF world level.
Looked better than his second.
Yeah, that moved very well. 280 kilos. Well, that's a good lift. Anthony Perkins on platform 1, 245 kilos. Relatively conservative jump, just trying to, yeah, that's why they knew it wasn't there. Just took a relatively conservative jump and tried to add a little bit more to the total. That's the goal. You want to have the highest total you can, not tip over.
Yep.
On platform 1, the action has wrapped up for the squats. Platform 2, the action continues. Ryan Musto missed his second attempt at 287.5. Coming back to hit it here.
Much better than his second.
Yeah, that moved great. Wait for the lights there, a little bit of anticipation, waiting for the referee's decision. 3 lights, it's a good lift.
And with that successful lift from Ryan, it still keeps him projected 10 kilos ahead of Trevor, who's going to be closing out our flight with 295 after Michael takes his last attempt of 292.5.
Michael Andrew in a bit of a battle between him and Michael Jean Sr. Needs these extra 7.5 kilos, trying to stay in the hunt with the experienced competitor. Well, Michael, I mean, this is his first time on the Powerlifting America national stage, let alone the world stage that Michael Jean Sr. has been to. 292.5. Being coached there by Susie Gary and Matt Gary. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. I hesitate a little with the call. I mean, we've got the front angle, and that's kind of what I thought it was a borderline or a bit shy, but then those side referees can really tell that he hit that depth.
Platform 3, our last squatter of the session, Trevor Klein. 650 pounds, getting loaded on.
650 pounds.
For a sub-junior, 120 kilo lifter, just outstanding.
And if you think his squat is impressive, just wait until you see what he's going to be benching in the next discipline of the meet.
Yeah, I mean, he won high school nationals last year, went on to compete at the World Championships. Now he is trying to pick up a title. He's in a battle between him and Ryan Musto. Oh, can he fight through the sticking point?
I think he got that.
And that is pivotal. Those extra 10 kilos really ups his chance of beating out Ryan Musto.
3 white lights.
Awesome. Wow, really great squad event we've had thus far in session 2, day 2 of Powerlifting America Classic H Division Nationals. Don't go anywhere on platform 1. We're going to be back in just 7.5 short minutes. Platform 2, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to jump back into the action in the bench press. We'll see you then. Welcome back to the 2024 Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals. I'm your host, Adriana Davis, joined in the booth by Tim Thibodeau. And we are already getting started here on Platform 1, back into the action of the bench press. Sherry Tan takes 30 kilos for her opening attempt, makes it fly. Platform 2 is going to jump back in just a couple of minutes. Cynthia Smith opening up with 32.5 kilos. Looks good to me. Judges agree, 3 white lights. Bars loaded for Joyce. 47.5 kilos for opening attempts. Now they're just making sure she has the proper equipment. You are allowed to request the use of blocks in the bench press. That is more so used for lifters who might have shorter legs, might be more difficult for them to get the proper leg drive.
Spotters, loaders, and referees to platform 3.
And we've just got about 30 seconds left until platform 2.
Joyce opening up with 47.5 kilos. Pretty smooth. Now, with the bench press, the absolute load of what you're lifting is less than the squat and deadlift, typically, very typically. So that means that usually we're going to see some smaller jumps in the bench press, especially if you're on the lighter end, maybe 90 kilos and below. That 2.5 minimum jump is very, very common, whereas it's not as common in deadlift, but more so common in the bench press to see a lifter take their opener and just make 2.5 kilo jumps to get to their third attempt.
I got Claire Crawford on platform 1 and Ashton.
Claire on 1 opening up with 52.5. Jeremiah Cruz on 2 opening up with 100 kilos.
We'll see what judges say on platform 1. It looks like she jumped the press command a bit.
Okay,
2 to 1.
One judge saw that. It was a bit close, so maybe perhaps the other judges thought that it was close enough to be okay, considering the fact that these judges, if they're not completely sure, they've got to give the benefit of doubt to the lifter.
Yep.
I think I'd be very, very relieved that I got that in as the lifter, considering that it was a little bit sticky, a little bit stickier than you want an opener to be. Dassel on platform 2, 107.5 for his opening attempt.
Solid opening attempt from Dasul, 107.5. And same thing with Lindsay. Good lift on 2, good lift on 1.
Exactly what we want to see out of openers.
And everybody is still in the meet so far.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Far.
No one has. So to stay in the meet or to be able to register a total, be in contention for placing, you've got to get at least 1 lift in each discipline. So as Tim said, so far, no one has bombed out on squats, meaning that they weren't able to get a squat in. That's typically the lift that you see the most bomb out stem from, just because squat depth is very difficult for a lot of lifters to reach. You could be training at a standard that's not quite the standard of national level judging.
2 to 1 on 2, good lift.
On 1, Annette Morgan, 62.5 kilos.
On platform 1, we got Annette Morgan. Platform 2, Adam Bregman.
What you'll see some of these lifters doing is talking to whoever might be giving them a handoff and directing them on how exactly they like those.
Platform 2, Adam Bregman. 115 for his opening attempt. Very, very smooth. Through it lights, good lift.
Platform 2, Colin Baldwin.
Platform 1, Joan Hahn. We're going to see this Masters 169 kilo battle develop as Joan Hahn and Pamela Riley open up at the same weight. Katie Achille opening up just 2.5 kilos more. Their forecasted totals across the three, only separated by 7.5 kilos. Joan starts off strong, pretty easy opener. Colin
Pretty
on
difficult
2.
opener for Colin. See what the judges say on that. 2-1, okay.
2-1, it's a good lift. What a relief. I
Yeah.
mean, when you're opening up an attempt and it's difficult,
Yeah.
and you have the prospect of potentially not getting the lift based on a technicality, having to come back and repeat that, always very, very dicey. Pamela Riley, very easy opener with 65 kilos, just a little bit under her body weight. Through it, that's good lift.
Next up on platform 1.
Through it, lights on 2.
Rachel Dugan. Platform 2, Angelo Carpio.
Platform 1, Rachel, 65 kilos for her opening attempt. Rachel's got a relatively closer grip.
But it's no problem for her.
Yep, makes 65 kilos fly. Through it lights, it's a good lift. Angelo on 2, 137.5 for the sub-junior. Just over 300 pounds, making it fly like that.
Oh.
2-1.
Next up on platform 3.
Look a little bit confused. They're gonna go and ask what's going on.
Could be elbows at lockout. We've got Sergio going up to the jury right now just to see what happened.
In the meantime, platform 1, Katie makes 67.5 move. Being coached by Arian Messi-Kamesi.
Next up on platform 1, Amy Hutchison.
David on 2 with a really solid opening attempt of 140.
Next up on platform 3, Stephen
Platform
Newman.
1, Amy Hutchinson, slotted as the favorite in the 84 kilo division, 80 kilos for her opening attempt flies. As it should, through it lights, it's a good lift.
Waiting to see what happens with Angelo because we're still waiting to see if that got overturned. It seems that it didn't, but he opted to go up to 150 for his second attempt.
Oh, interesting, okay. I mean, it moved like an opener should.
Yeah.
It just had some sort of technical issue. Sergio went to the jury, was able to ask what it was for at least, even if it did not get overturned. Stephen Newman, 145 flies for him.
Solid second attempt from Cherry.
Yeah, jumping 5 kilos there. Through it lights, it's a good lift.
All right, on platform 1, we have Cynthia Smith. Platform 2, Mason Ross.
Platform 2, Mason Ross, 150 kilos. Platform 1, Cynthia Smith. Wow.
Solid.
Looked like an opener. Looked like a warm-up, honestly. 37.5 for her. 150 moves well for Mason Ross. Mason is our leader in the 105 kilo division.
Coming up on platform 2, William Ball.
And again, in that 105 kilo sub-junior division, Steven is not too far behind.
Yep.
Mason needs to continue to execute to keep that lead. Joyce on 150 kilos. An example of a lifter taking the minimum 2.5 kilo jump. William Ball had a phenomenal squat day. Looking to do the same in the bench press, opening up with 75 kilos. I mean, he's forecasted over 100 kilos above the next person. Wow, 175 flies for William Ball. He's going to go over 400 pounds for sure.
Yeah, so for the 93 sub-junior class, it's definitely going to be a fight for second and third because William's got a sizable lead.
Yeah, and William has actually never stepped foot on the national stage. So this is his first time. Kind of similar to Esperanza Delgado from the first session. Very new to the sport, less than 2 years. Looking to pick up their first national title and head to the world stage. Platform 1, Claire Crawford, 55 kilos. Platform 2, Jeremiah, 107.5.
It's a fight.
Yeah, a bit of a fight for Jeremiah on 2. On 1, that was a no lift, just on strength.
Next up on platform 1, Lindsay Shemansky. On platform 3, we've got Dasul Kim.
Platform 1, Lindsay in the 57 kilo Masters 1 class, jumping 5 kilos, 60 kilos on her second attempt. If you're in the commercial gym, this is 145 plate on each side. Platform 2, Dasul Kim, 7.5 kilo jump to 115.
Nice
Bit of
second
work
attempt.
on 1.
Next up on platform 3, Roland.
That's a good lift for Lindsay.
Next on platform 1, Annette Morgan.
Platform 2, Rowland, 117.5 kilos for his second attempt. Rowland has competed on the national stage before, has that experience behind him. And Annette also has some experience behind her, has competed on the national and world stage. Three white lights on 1 for Annette. Platform 1, Eleanor, 67.5 for her second attempt. Platform 2, Colin, 122.5, just the minimum 2.5 kilo jump. Interested to see how this moves.
Yeah, his opener was definitely a fight.
Oh yeah, I remember it actually. Yeah, he kind of like dive bombs it towards the end of his bench. And some lifters do have the style where they sink a little bit more into the chest, but you've got to be controlled with it so that you get that press command. You're not having to wait. You feel a lot more control with the weight. Like you're benching the weight's not benching you.
Yeah. And with Colin, I'm not sure if he had to do a weight cut for this because he did weigh in at 92.15 and the weight class is 93. And people really do underestimate how much a water cut or really any type of cut can affect your performance on the day.
Yeah, especially typically if you have some sort of cut like that, bench press is the first to kind of drop. Platform 1, Joan Hahn, 5 kilo jump to 70 kilos. Her direct competitor, Pamela Riley, going to go after her. Adam on 2, 122.5.
So he's got another 2.5.
Yeah, I agree. Bit of work there. Oh, and yellow cards too.
Could be for elbows.
Yeah, I thought he might have potentially jumped the command, but of course we can't hear from here. I would probably just repeat that. Oh, a little bit of confusion on platform 1.
Coming up on platform 1, Pamela Riley.
Yep, that was a good lift for Joan. Now Pamela, 70 kilos. Same attempts across the board.
Being handled by Jay of TSS.
Platform 2, Jacob, 130. A little bit shaky, but it moved fine for a second attempt. Through it lights, it's a good lift. Pamela's second attempt moved very well. Through white lights, it's a good lift. And that's the thing, too, in the bench press. The wall kind of comes fast. So you can see an attempt like that and think, hey, I think I got another 5 kilos. You put on those 5 kilos, and it just doesn't budge off the chest. It's kind of like very case-by-case dependent. Depends on the lifter, depends on their strength profiles. Platform 1, Rachel, 70 kilos stays on the bar for her. Platform 2, David, 147.5. David's competed at the NAPF Championships. Slow off the chest, fights through the sticking point. 2 to 1, it's a good lift for David.
And I want to say that might be the first call for elbow depth that I've seen today, because he did get a yellow from the chief referee.
Platform 1, Katie, 72.5. Pretty solid. Just got that closer grip. Again, you can use a wide grip, close grip. Just depends on what the lifter likes, where they're strongest. Angelo Carpino.
So his opener actually got overturned.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice. And then what happens there is when the jury overturns a lift like that, since they take some time to discuss, then they have a minute from there to put in a new attempt if they wish to do so. So we initially had in something else and then jumped to 150. Amy Hutchinson, platform 1, 85 kilos.
A little bit of a longer press command there.
That's what I was just about to say. These chief referees are looking for the bar to be motionless before giving that press command. Through white lights nonetheless, and she handled it pretty well. And that's kind of what you have to consider as a handler, kind of watching to see what the vibe is. For if the judge is giving maybe a little longer press command, then you might want to be a little more conservative. Platform 1, Sherry Tan, 37.5.
Really taking your time here.
Oh,
wow.
Fights through it. Great grind from her. Through white lights, it's a good lift. 3 for 3 in the bench press. Mason Ross on 2, 157.5, nearly 350 pounds for the sub-junior lifter, leading the way in the 105 kilo class.
For a reason.
Yeah, I mean, that moved pretty good for a second attempt. A little bit harder than your opener, but he's still got room in the tank. Cynthia Smith on 1. Wow. Did not think she's going to be able to fight through that sticking point. Took a relatively big jump to 7.5 kilos.
Oh, 2 to 1.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a no lift. Gets 1 blue card for up and down motion and 1 yellow card. Platform 2, William Ball with a national record attempt. 183. Jumping straight to the meat and potatoes. 400 pounds here for William Ball, and it
wow.
moves so fast. I mean, if this is the kind of lifting we're going to see for him all day, I am so excited to see where he goes for his third. I mean, as long as he could stop right now,
Yeah.
get in the deadlift, win the championship. I'm excited to see how far he pushes it. On platform 1, that was a good lift for Joyce. Bars load on platform 1. Claire Crawford missed this on her second attempt, opted to repeat it. And it's a good call. I mean, her second attempt, of course, she failed on strength, so the correct option is to repeat it. She could have also scratched, maybe save some energy, but we'll see how she handles this. Platform 2, Jeremiah Cruz, 110 kilos for his final bench attempt.
We'll see what happens for Jeremiah and Claire.
What a
wow.
grind. That was amazing to see from Claire. Oh my gosh, let's see what the judges say.
2-1, good lift.
That was phenomenal. I mean, I did not think that was going to go, if I'm being completely honest. Just the way it came off the chest and she was able to stick with it, really stay patient, really trust in herself that she can get the weight. Love to see it. Platform 2, Dassel Kim, 120 kilos for his final attempt. Platform 1, Lindsay really taking her time, getting set up with 65 kilos. Platform 1, Lindsay, 65 kilos. Platform 2.
It's still
Another
going.
big fight from Lindsay on platform 1. These Masters lifters, man, they know how to grind through an attempt. She's fired
Good
up.
lift
3
on
white
both.
lights, goes 3 for 3 in the bench press. And then on 1, 70 kilos for a final attempt.
So Colin's still coming out for his third. We'll see how this goes. I mean, we've seen some miracles happen on people's thirds after missing their seconds today.
Let's see how Colin handles this.
It's a little bit too much for Colin. Do we have another fight on platform 1?
She was ready for it, but
yeah.
just a little too much today.
Platform 3, Roland Hoskins.
Platform 2, we've got Roland Hoskins coming out for 122.5 in platform 1. Eleanor going 72.5, jumping 5 from her second attempt.
Another big fight on 1. But I don't know. She's not going to be able to
Yeah,
break
these
through
lifters
that
are
sticking
definitely
point.
leaving all the kilos on the platform today.
Next on platform 1, Joan Hahn. Next up on platform 3, Adam Bregman.
Platform 1, Joan Hahn, trying to pick up as many kilos as she can in the battle that is going to come down to the end. Susie Gary, legendary game day handler, coaching her, going against another legendary handler in the area in Kamesi. 72.5 for Joan.
A little too much for Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Easy third.
That looked great. Good call there. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Because again, you could get greedy, have your second attempt fly and say, let's go 5 kilos. But especially for the bench press, especially at this weight, it's just a little bit dicey. Pamela Riley following the same trend, just jumping 2.5 kilos to her third attempt. Every attempt is crucial here in one of these battles. Platform 2, Jacob, 135 kilos. just under 300 pounds.
A
and
little too much.
Not able to get it. Not able to get that from Pamela. But again, she just jumped the minimum amount.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking practically or technically, she was able to leave all that she had on the platform. Maybe just wasted a bit of energy with that third attempt, but it's not that big of a deal. David on 2, 150 kilos.
If he's successful with this, it'll keep him 15 kilos ahead in his projected over Adam. Excuse me, over Jacob.
No lift on 2. I believe they think he jumped the press command.
See
Another big fight on platform 1.
See what the judges say. Definitely not a strength issue, but 2-1.
You saw the same thing
Yeah.
they did. Some up and down motion.
Angelo having that bit of a scare on his opener, getting overturned, but he's not letting that bother him one bit. Going up 10 kilos to 160.
And Katie Achille goes 3 for 3 in the bench press. Really pivotal in this 69-kilo battle.
See what judges say on 2. I want to say that was a good lift. 2-1.
So next on platform 1, Amy Hutchinson. Next on platform
Amy
3,
Hutchinson, platform 1,
Mason Ross.
87.5, not too far from 200 pounds. Trying to return to the world stage. Yeah, and that looked like a good call there. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Platform 2, Mason Ross, 160 kilos, leading the way in the 105-kilo division.
Solid attempt from Mason.
It's a good lift. On platform 1, we have rolled straight into flight B. Aaron Hall opening us up with 60 kilos. Very easy there.
Coming up platform 1, we have Aaron Hall. Right now platform 2, we have Stephen Newman.
Steven going up 7.5 kilos to 162.5. Nice third attempt.
It's a good lift. William Ball, 188 for his final attempt on 2. But first, Nefertiti, 67.5 is good for her opening attempt.
Williams definitely a well-rounded lifter.
Yeah, I mean, after that squat, and now taking the bench national record as well. And yeah, I mean, he's opening up in the deadlifts with 280 kilos.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
I mean, even with like a slightly longer press command than I would have given, that moves so well for him.
He's having a
6 for
great
6
day.
on the day, yeah. Well ahead in the class, not having to worry about any sort of battle. He can just come here and ball out, for lack of better words. Platform 1, Rebecca, 77.5 for opening attempt. Oh, bit sticky for an opening attempt, but she gets it up. I think that's going to be a good lift, and it is. 3 white lights.
2, we have Sage back.
Just waiting for Sage to take the platform. We might see a little bit of a reset with the clock because they need to add the blocks for her.
Platform 1, Diane, 80 kilos. Be good. Chewy white lights, it's a good lift.
Coming on platform 1, we have Michelle Harrell.
Good speed from Sage. And a good lift.
Platform 1, Michelle, 95 kilos for her opening attempt. A little bit sticky for an opener, but she gets it up. Not an all-out grinder. 3 white lights, good lift. Shanti on platform 2, 65 kilos. Forecasted pretty well ahead in that 84 plus kilo division.
Very quick opener from Shanti.
Yeah, just a lift to get on the board, and then she'll probably take bigger jumps from there. Hayu Tan on platform 1, 100 kilos for his opening attempt. He's been in the game, on the international stage. Not going to get rattled by the national stage. Alex on platform 2, 100 kilos for his opening attempt.
Very solid opener from Alex.
Still waiting on the lights on platform 1 from Hayu.
Judges say it's a good lift. They're all giving their thumbs up.
Yeah, just having a little bit of technical difficulties. But like you said, the judges are saying it's a good lift.
Quick press command on 2. No problem for John at all.
Just trying to get that sword on platform 1.
Next on platform 1, we've got a true facts.
Got that sword on 1. Platform 1, Ron Brinker, 100 kilos for his opening attempt. Platform 2, Atreyu Vest, gonna come out to 135 kilos. Had a great squat event, went 3 for 3. Gonna try to do the same in the bench. Solid opener on 1. Ron's been in the game for about a decade now.
Solid opener
Yeah,
on 2
very
from
solid
Atreyu.
opener for Atreyu on 2. Tuan on platform 1, opening up with 110 kilos. Tuan is our leader in the 66 kilo class. His first time on the national stage, and he looks to be the favorite to win. Starts off strong in the bench. That's a good lift. Eric Taylor, platform 2, 145. 319 pounds, moves very easily for him.
Next on platform, we got Ben Chu. Over next on platform 3, we got Tim Brocken.
Platform 1, Ben Chu, 112.5 for his opening attempt.
It's no problem for Ben at all.
Yep, Ben is going to have his debut to the Powerlifting America national stage. Hasn't missed a lift yet, really having a great debut thus far. Platform 2, Tim Brockett, 155 kilos.
All right, next on platform 1, we got
That's a good
Jonathan
lift, 3
Heaton.
white lights for him.
Platform 3, Michael Andrew.
Platform 1, Jonathan Hebrio, 137.5 for his opening attempt, 303 pounds, excuse me. Platform 2, Michael Andrew. We can kind of see this 120 plus battle unfold between Michael Andrew and Michael Jean Sr. Both forecasted just 5 kilos apart from each other. Looked like a good lift on one. 3 white lights, and it is.
Solid opener for Michael on 2.
Next on platform 1, the Buckline. Coming next on platform 3, we got Timothy Mercer.
Bart Kwan on the barbell brigade on 140 kilos.
Also
First
been in the
opening
sport
attempt.
for a very long time.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience. It's an interesting session because we've got these sub-junior lifters who are new to the game, don't have a ton of experience, and then these masters lifters who, a lot of them have been in the game for decades.
Solid opener from Timothy Mercer on 2. 2-1.
Next on platform 1,
We've got a yellow card. The yellow card is kind of a catch-all in powerlifting, especially in the bench press when there's so much to look for, like head lifting off the bench, feet coming off the ground, feet have to be flat on the floor, jumping a command. There's a lot that could fall under that infraction. Anthony Perkins on 140 kilos for his opening attempt. Had a pretty good squat event, only missed his last squat after just a 5 kilo jump. And he's well ahead in the class right now.
Little bit of a heavy opener from Anthony Perkins. We'll see what he does for a second.
Yeah, I agree. It looked a little bit hard. Probably a very conservative jump. At most, probably 5 kilos, in my opinion.
And Ryan successful with his opener of 175.
Yeah, Ryan Musto in that bit of a battle between him and Trevor Klein. Trevor's a sub-junior, going to be opening up with 212.5. That's going to be, that's a crazy bench.
Yeah. We're going to see how that plays out because Ryan is definitely a deadlifter opening up with 295 and Trevor's opening up with 240. So Trevor really wants to add to his total as much as possible in the bench press.
Yeah, kind of that subtotal type lifter.
Yep.
Heavy on the squat and bench. Yeah, that's a very interesting battle there. 'Cause you've seen some battles where they go kind of back to back in squat, bench, and deadlift, and then some where one has got a specialist lift, the other one, like for instance here, where Ryan's got the big advantage in the deadlift.
Next on platform 1, we got Nefertiti Borders. Platform 3, we got Ryan Donnelly.
Platform 2, we got Ryan Donnelly, 177.5 for his opening attempt. Platform 1, Nefertiti with 72.5 kilos.
See what the judges say on 2. I'm not sure about that left elbow. 3 whites, okay. Trevor closing out the flight with 212.5.
As a sub-junior lifter, I mean, what? Like, this is phenomenal. In the 120 kilo sub-junior class, world record bench press currently sits at 208 kilos. So this is an unofficial world record on this opener. I really want to see how this moves. Oh my gosh, and it moves how an opener should. Sometimes you see lifters have these huge openers and you don't know if it's going to move like an opener or if they're being a little bit too ambitious, but that was insane. 212.5 for his opening attempt. Really excited to see where he ends on this third. Platform 1, Rebecca, 80 kilos, is a good lift for her second attempt.
Coming up next on platform 1, we've got Diane Arthur. Platform 2, Sage Back.
Platform 1, Diane Arthur, 85 kilos for her second attempt. Currently projected in third place. Nefertiti not too far behind her, so she's got to continue to execute to keep that podium position. Platform 2, Sage, sub-junior, 84 plus kilo division, 65 kilos for her second attempt. 3 white lights is a good lift, 3 white lights on 1 as well.
Next on platform 1, we got Michelle Harrell. Platform 2, Shanti Kausa.
Platform 1, Michelle Harrell, 97.5, 215 pounds. Now she's forecasting first, but Rebecca is not too far behind her in that 84 plus kilo Masters 1 division. Michelle making her debut to the national stage here. Bit tough. And I remember her opener was tough too, so she's likely just going to take another 2.5 kilo jump, trying to chip away at building that best total she can to fend off Rebecca, who has, as a stark difference, Rebecca has that international stage experience. Platform 1, Huayu Tan, 105 kilos for his second attempt.
And same weight being loaded on platform 2 for Alex Crooks.
From platform 3, we got Alex Crooks.
Handles the 5 kilo jump well on 1. 3 white lights is a good lift. Ron Brinker on 1, 107.5 for his second attempt. For Alex on 2, that moved fairly well. 3 white lights.
Coming next on platform 3, we have John Ingwerson.
Nice attempt from Ron on 1.
John on 2, sub-junior lifter, 112.5.
Next on platform 1, we got Tuan Win.
3 white lights, it's a good lift. Platform 1, Tuan Wen, 115 kilos. Our leader in the 66 kilo class.
Atreyu on 2, jumping 10 kilos to 145.
Moved fairly well for Tuan's second attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift.
Next on platform 1, we got Ben Chu.
Ben Chu on 1.
Good lift on 2.
Next on platform 3, we got Aaron
Ben taking a
Taylor.
10 kilo jump to 122.5. Three white lights on 1, that's a good lift.
Next on platform 1, we got Jonathan Hebrew.
Platform 2, Eric Taylor, 152.5 for his second attempt.
Slow and controlled and quick second attempt. We'll see what he does for his third.
Jonathan on 1, getting set up with 142.5. If you're in the commercial gym, this is about 314 pounds. Going to be in the battle there for a podium position, either second or third place likely between him and Ben Chu. 3 white lights is a good lift. Jonathan's never competed in a national meet. This is going to be his first. Tim Brockett, 165 for the Masters 1 lifter. No lift, unfortunately. Just looks a little too heavy. Very glad that he has his opening attempt in, knocking the wrist bombing out. Anthony Perkins on 1, taking a small 2.5 kilo jump to 142.5. Perhaps just filled out the opener, kind of thought, oh, that's a little bit too heavy. Let's just go 2.5, try to build momentum. He is the leader in the class as well, so it doesn't make much sense to start taking risks, potentially leave the door open elsewhere. Michael Andrew on platform 2, 167.5. In the thick of it, of that Masters battle. 3 white lights is a good lift. Bart Kwan on 1, ending off the flight, 145 kilos for his second attempt.
Nice attempt from Bart.
Yeah, really solid. Slower attempt, but not a grinder.
And same thing on 2, solid attempt from Timothy Mercer with 177.5.
Coming on platform 3, Ryan Musto.
Platform 1, Erin Hall, 72.5 for her third and final bench press attempt. Ryan Musto on 2, sub-junior, 120 kilo lifter, 182.5 for his second attempt. Ryan, again, in the battle with Trevor Klein. Trevor's got the advantage on the bench. Okay, move fairly, a little slow. I would expect a relatively conservative jump, but it wasn't an all-out grinder. That's a good lift for Ryan.
Platform 2 got Michael G. Sr.
Platform 1, Nefertiti Borders, 77.5 for her third and final attempt. Trying to go 6 for 6 on the day thus far. Building that total.
Michael getting amped up on 2.
Yeah, as he should be. He is right in the thick of the battle. Him and Michael Andrew in that Masters 1 120 plus kilo division, currently forecasted the same exact weight. There it is. That's one of those lifts where, or one of those examples where the lifter sinks into the bar. They prefer that style. Maybe it's a little easier to hit elbow depth, but it's controlled at the same time. It's not just the dive bomb into the chest. Ryan on 2, going to come out next to 190 kilos. Platform 1, Rebecca, minimum 2.5 kilo jump to 82.5. Again, she's a bit off of Michelle Harrell at the top, but Michelle starts to slips up, misses her third bench, maybe doesn't, let's see, maybe messes up in the deadlifts. Rebecca could come in there and take it. But she's not able to gain those extra 2.5 kilos here. That's going to be a no lift for Rebecca.
Now Trevor going for the chip advantage.
And can you explain a little bit what the chip advantage is?
Yeah, so when it comes to national records, you have the option of going up in increments of 0.5 kilos, and that chip advantage, it can really help you out in the towards the end of the meet. So let's just say, for example, you might be a little bit of a heavier lifter versus your competition, but if you end on the same total, if you have that chip advantage over your competitor, you are obviously going to, place over them in the meet.
Right, and Trevor, that is important because he is in the thick of it with Ryan Mustow, and he weighs more than Ryan.
Yeah.
Wow, that was 223 kilos.
Yeah. So
just a few pounds under 500 pounds, moving very fast for
Yeah.
Trevor.
That definitely closes the gap a little bit. We'll see how things turn out with deadlifts because Ryan's second did look a little bit difficult, so we're not sure how much energy he has left for the day. But same thing with Trevor. We don't know what he's going to be going up to, but he definitely needs to close that gap if he wants to take first place over Ryan.
Michelle Harrell, speaking of taking first place, she's currently the leader, 100 kilos, opted to take just the minimum 2.5 kilo jumps across the board. See how she handles 100 kilos.
Little too heavy on the day.
Sage on 67.5 kilos. And it goes for her 3 white lights, good lift.
Next up, we got volume 10, platform 1. Coming out on platform 3, we got Shanti Khalsa.
Huayu Tan, 107.5 for his third and final attempt in the bench press. Huayu in a bit of a battle, not for the first place position unless Tuan really starts to slip up, but him versus Ron Brinker could come down to the final deadlifts as they jockey around between podium position.
Not sure if he jumped the press
I'm
command
not sure
on there.
either. It was very, very close. I would lean towards the side of yes.
Yeah.
There it is. Yep, all the judges agree.
And a little too heavy for Shanti on the day. 72.5 might have been there, but I wouldn't fret over 5 kilos.
Platform 2, Alex Crooks, 110 kilos.
Little shaky there.
Oh,
and
he jumped the rack
yeah.
again. He tried to undo it, but those judges see. Yep, and on platform 1, that was a good lift for Ron Brinker. Hasn't missed a lift yet. Gonna be in the thick of it between him and Huayu Tan. Currently forecasted just 2.5 kilos away from each other. And if you're wondering who's got the deadlift advantage, it's going to be Huayu.
Nice third attempt from John.
Yeah, 3 white lights. Judges agree.
He's excited about that.
I would be too. Tuan Nguyen, platform 1, 117.5 kilos. Nice, really good third attempt from him. Good lift. Yeah, Tuan again hasn't competed on the national stage. Gonna be excited to do so. Platform 1, Ben Chu, 130 kilos for his third and final bench attempt. Platform 2, Atra Yu Vest, 150 kilos for his final bench attempt. Ben Chu. Another situation where there's a lifter out in front, but Ben could still contend with the others for a podium position as high as possible. Platform 2, Atreyu. Good lift on 1, good lift on 2.
That's on platform 3, we got Eric Taylor. Right on platform 1, we got Anthony Perkins.
Platform 1, Anthony Perkins, 145.
Yeah, opted to take that
Small
minimum jump. Yep.
Yep, and he did that across the board too. So that could be an indicator that perhaps he opened too heavy. Typically, you're not going to see either he opened too heavy or he's just used to these jumps that he takes in the gym. And again, so many variables come into play: travel, national stage, new equipment. Platform 2, Eric Taylor, 160 for his final attempt. Yeah, that's not going to go for Anthony. But again, he is well ahead in the class. Just going to execute on deadlifts.
See what judges say on 2. I'm not sure if. Okay, 3
lights.
whites. Saw a little bit of a pump there before the press command. You know, like we've been saying this entire competition, the standards of judging at national level meets are the highest it's going to be in the country.
Yeah, I mean, these judges, they've got a lot of experience on them. And that's kind of what makes it strict. It's not that we don't apply the same standard across the board all the way to the local level, but these national level, international level judges just have a lot more experience with making those tough calls.
It's a fight
really
on
good
1.
Grind on 1. Gritty Masters lifters, man. Jonathan, 3 white lights, goes 3 for 3, and 6 for 6 on the day thus far.
A little too much for Tim on 2.
Platform 1, Bart Kwan's going to end off the bench press on that platform with 147.5.
And a smooth 147.5.
Very smooth all the way through. His handler gives the nod of approval there. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Bart having fantastic lifting on the day thus far. And now Michael Andrew on platform 2, 175. In the thick of it in the 120 plus kilo division. And he goes 3 for 3, picking up an extra 7.5 kilos. Every kilo is going to be crucial here when you're in a battle like that. Timothy Mercer gonna take 182.5, could be a big milestone, the big 400-pound deadlift. Excuse me, 400-pound bench. All the more impressive. Timothy leading the way in the 120 kilo division.
Solid.
Very solid third attempt there. Great day of lifting so far. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. Not sure what the yellow card is for. Ryan Musto. This is really shaping up to be a good battle between Ryan Musto and Trevor Klein in the sub-junior 120 kilo division. Ryan Musto taking just the minimum 2.5 kilo jump. And if this were another situation where maybe your second attempt's a little slower than you expect, you might have that conversation of scratching the third. But especially if you're in a tight battle like this, where every kilo counts, sometimes you've just got to go out and try. And can he break through that sticking point? Oh my gosh,
yes.
What a fight.
Wow.
He locks it out. Awesome lifting from Ryan Musto.
I would give that.
I would too.
And they
3
do.
white lights. And again, you're in such a tight battle, it might come down to that attempt where he picked up that extra 2.5 kilos. We'll just have to see. Michael Jean Sr. now. Yet another battle ensues in the 120 plus kilo Masters 1 division, where Michael Adieu was able to pick up an extra 7.5 kilos. Now Michael Jean Sr. trying to go 6 for 6 on the day, getting so fired up there. Love it. 195 kilos on the bar for him, 430 pounds. This is pivotal. I mean, if he misses this, him and Michael Andrew would be forecasted on the exact same weight. Just to give Michael a little bit of an advantage here.
I want to say yes.
Let's see what the judges say.
I'm not
It's
sure if there was a
great
little
call.
heaving there. There we
Three white
go.
lights, it's a good lift. Picks up those extra pivotal 7.5 kilos there. That's going to be a fun one to watch unfold during the deadlifts.
Ryan Donnelly coming out for 200 even kilos, 440 pounds.
Big milestone here. This is a huge milestone, I mean, for squat and deadlift, let alone bench.
Smoke show.
Jumped 10 kilos, too. That was a phenomenal attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift.
All right, here, this is a national record attempt.
So Trevor going up 5 kilos to really close that gap. Actually, 5.5 kilos, I'm sorry, to close that gap. If he gets this, he'll be going into deadlifts with a projected total of 763.5, with Ryan being 767.5. So if he gets this, there's only going to be 4 kilos separating their projected totals.
It's tight. And Trevor, really bench specialist here. I mean, this is 20.5 kilos over the world record in the division, sitting at 208. And I think he's going to get this. His second attempt flew. Let's see it. Oh, my gosh.
A little bit too much on the day.
Just a little too much. Could be a pivotal miss there. I mean, missing out on 5.5 kilos.
Still walking away with a record.
Yeah, with a big, big national record at 223 kilos. And that is it for the bench press of Day 2, Session 2 at Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in just 7 short minutes on Platform 1 and 10 short minutes on Platform 2 to wrap up Session 2. Placings are going to be decided. It's the last event of the session. These lifters are going to show their heart. It's going to be a fun time. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you then. Welcome back to the 2024 Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals. I'm your host, Adriana Davis, joined in the booth by Tim Thibodeau. We are going to get started in just a few seconds on Platform 1. On Platform 2, we're going to jump back into the action just 2 or 3 minutes. And this is really where the fun starts, the deadlifts. This is where placings are decided. Lifters are solidifying their totals. It's going to be a fun time. Getting started here, Cynthia Smith, 70 kilos for her opening attempt. Nice and easy.
And total has been registered.
Yep, and that's the thing with the deadlifts. It's the last event of the day. So as long as these lifters have hit at least one squat, at least one bench, they get in that opener deadlift, and they've solidified their total, as Tim has said. And that's really where you can see them. They can breathe a sigh of relief. They're not going to risk bombing out. Then they can go ahead and take some big jumps. Sherry Tan, 75 kilos for her opening attempt. Nice and easy, 3 white lights. It's a good lift.
Next up on platform 1, we have Joyce Quay.
Joyce coming out to 105 kilos. Again, these lifters solidifying their totals. A little bit slow, but steady all the way through. 3 white lights, it's a good lift.
It could be deceiving, though. They could be accustomed to lifting that way.
Next on platform 1, Lindsay Shabansky.
Lindsay, 112.5 for her opening attempt. Lindsay is, with this deadlift, she would secure, or currently she's the favorite in the 57 kilo class. We do have some Masters 1 lifters performing later in the primetime session. It's going to start at 6:30 local time. But for Lindsay, that is a good lift, solidifying her total.
Already we're live on platform 3 for Dasu Kim. We're also live on platform 1 with Claire Crawford.
Claire, 115 kilos for her opening attempt. On platform 2, Dasul Kim, 162.5 kilos.
Same thing on 2, a little slow, so we'll see what he decides to do for his second attempt.
Yeah, and like you said, it can be very deceiving. I mean, some lifters, all 3 of their attempts will look very slow, or it will go slow, very slow, very, very slow. Like,
Yeah.
They can really grind out a deadlift.
Next on
Eleanor on 120 kilos for her opening attempt.
platform 2, Jeremiah Cruz.
She's in the 63 kilo class. Currently ahead, but we are going to have a couple of 63 kilo masters lifters lifting later. But for Eleanor, that's a good lift, 3 white lights. Platform 2, Jeremiah Cruz, 182.5. Another opener that is not super, super fast, but just a little bit slower than maybe a very speedy opener.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
You might see that's more common for people that deadlift that have shorter arms relative to their height. So
Platform 1, Rachel, 122.5. Three white lights, it's a good lift.
yeah. Just like in the case here of Angelo on platform 2, he opened up with 225 on his squat, but he's opening up 207
Oh, wow.
on his
Yeah.
deadlift.
Big difference there.
But no problem for him because he smoked that opener.
Next up on platform 1, we got Kadia Philly.
2-1, okay. I did see a little bit of a bobble at the top, so that might have been why the side referee gave him the red light.
And on platform 1, Katie Achille, 130 kilos, in the hunt for the 69 kilo national title. but we are going to have 169 kilo lift in the primetime session, who is going to have the advantage of knowing exactly what she needs to hit to come out on top. But these other 3 lifters could still walk away knowing that they did the best in the regular session.
Adam with 215 on 2. Good lift.
3 white lights on 1 for Annette. Platform 1, Joan Hahn, 137.5, 300 pounds. This will give her a 335 kilo total, while Katie currently sits, who just went, Katie currently sits at a 327.5. Rowland on 2, 220 for his opening attempt, smokes it. 3 white lights on both platforms. Platform 1, Pamela Riley coming out to 137.5. This will give her a 330 kilo total, putting her in provisional 2nd place.
And good lift on 1, I want to say.
Yeah, it looked like a good lift.
Taking the platform, we've got David Strojan.
We've had some technical difficulties on 1. Likely a good lift.
Coming up platform, we got Amy Hutchinson.
David opening up with
Very
232.
easy opener.
He's got some international experience behind him. Been on the NAPF stage. On 1, that is a good lift for Pamela. Gonna move on to Amy Hutchinson. 162.5 for her opening attempt. 358 pounds. Has podiumed at the world stage, looking to make her return. Yeah, that was easy for 162.5.
That's what we want to be seeing.
Stephen Newman on 2 makes 245 kilos fly for his opening attempt. Like you said, exactly what we want to be seeing out of these openers. Gives an indication into how much they got left in the tank. Are they going to take bigger jumps? A little bit worrying when lifters come out to their opener, and it's kind of difficult moving more like a 2nd attempt. So we love to see these openers that just absolutely fly, excuse me. Cynthia on the 1, 75 kilos.
Solid attempt from Cynthia as well.
3 white lights, it's a good lift. Mason Ross on 2, 245 kilos. Made it fly.
Going to see an interesting battle between Mason and Steven.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now, Mason has the 17.5 kilo advantage on his total, but Steven's making some moves. Going to be pulling into the lead for the time being on his 2nd attempt. So if Mason starts missing lifts, that could really open the door for Steven to come in.
Yeah, Mason actually going up to 262.5, so really opening up that gap again.
Yeah, and it's interesting. They're both taking the exact same weight. So you kind of explained this earlier, but that's going to come down to lot numbers. So Steven's still going to go first. They actually open with the same weight, too. On platform 1, Joyce. Yeah, it just seems like all of her deadlifts are going to be a little slower. 112.5. Should be a good lift, and it is.
Jacob Main coming out on 275 on the bar, 606 pounds from a sub-junior lifter.
Wow, sub-junior, 93 kilo lifter.
See what the judges say on that.
Yeah, a little bit of a bobble at the top.
Not sure if it was fully locked out at the top either, but all right, 2-1.
2-1, that's a good lift. Lindsay, 120 kilos for her 2nd attempt on 1.
She knows she's got that.
Yeah, she's not even worried about it. 3 white lights, good lift. Now, William Ball, 280 kilo deadlift attempt. This will give him a 763.5 kilo total on his opener.
And will also solidify those 2 records that he had set previously. Very easy opening attempt from William.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes from there. 3 white lights for him. Good lift. Clear on 1, 125 kilos.
Oh.
Just looks a little too heavy for the day. Hopefully she can come back, hit it on her final attempt.
Not sure if the bar got pitched in front of her a little bit, but she's got one more attempt to clean that up.
Eleanor on 1, 130 kilos. Again, Eleanor currently leads the way in the 63 kilo division, but we've got
It's a
lifters
grind.
later. Yeah, really good to stick with it. Had that sticking point in the middle, but didn't give up, stayed patient. Oh, unfortunately, that is a no lift to the 1. Gets a yellow and a blue card. Blue card was likely for supporting on the thighs. I didn't see the downward motion. Yellow card, not sure what that was for. On 2, that was a good lift for Da-Sul Kim. On 1, Rachel coming out to 130 kilos.
Solid second attempt from Rachel on platform 1.
Yeah, that moved almost exactly how you want a second attempt to move. 3 white lights, good lift. Katie Achille, currently in 3rd place. If everyone makes their second attempts, this will keep her in 3rd place. We're pulling into provisional 1st right now. A little bit slow, steady though. 140 kilos, should be good for her. And it is 3 white lights. Gave her a 337.5 kilo total, while Joan Hahn sits at 335. And then on 1, coming out to 140 kilos. Angelo on 2, 222.5 for his second attempt. A bit of work on 1. Not an all-out grinder. She's got some room in the tank. 140 kilos is a good lift for Annette.
Pretty solid second attempt from Angelo on 2. Had to work a little bit for that.
Joan Hahn currently at 335. This will give her a 342.5 kilo total, putting her back over Katie. Has some phenomenal coaching behind her, and Susie Hartwig-Gary. Bit of work, but I think she's got a little bit of room, maybe 2.5, 5 kilos max. But nonetheless, that's a good lift for her.
Next up on platform 1, Pamela Riley.
Platform 2, Adam, 230 kilos for his second attempt.
All right.
Has to put in
Definitely a
some work
little
for
bit of a struggle for Adam on 2. See what he does for his 3rd. I want to say that was a good lift. It was. And we'll see what he does for his 3rd, because Roland coming up, depending on how this moves, does have the opportunity on his last pull to knock himself into 4th place over Adam.
Yes, we'll have to see where Adam goes from there. On 1 for Pamela Riley, that was a good lift, putting her back into the lead based on body weight. So Pamela and Joan both sit at 342.5 after second attempts. Katie just behind with 337.5. And again, we're not going to be crowning the winners this session. We've got the primetime session later. But they're trying to put up the best they can, trying to put up the best position they can to potentially have a silver medal. Amy Hutchinson, 172.5. Good lift.
Good attempt from Roland right there.
Platform 1, Cynthia Smith, ending off the day with 80 kilos. Platform 2, David smokes 245 kilos for his second attempt. 3 white lights on 2. And on 1.
Platform 2, Colin Baldwin.
3 white lights on 1.
Next up on platform 1, Sherry Tan.
Colin going up 10 kilos. He has to fight for it. It's getting.
Drops it at the top. He can come back, try to hit it, maybe throw
Yeah.
on some wrist wraps, try to help him keep his grip. But yeah, it's unfortunate when you miss a second attempt like that. Platform 1,
Closing
Sherry
out the
Tan.
day with 90 kilos. Seems like a good lift.
Yeah, great way to close out the day there. And it is 3 white lights, a good lift. Steven Newman trying to pull for the lead over Mason Ross, but of course Mason's gonna be lifting right after, taking a 17.5 kilo jump, trying to keep that spread.
Wow.
Oh, but Steven's got room to grow there.
Steven is here to fight.
Yeah, he looks fired up. He could potentially pull off the win over Mason. We'll just have to see what Mason does, and he's coming out next with the same exact weight. But first on platform 1, Joyce, 120 kilos to end off her day. Come on, Joyce. Locks it out. See what the judges say on that.
Yeah, a
Think
bit
it
of a
should be
long
good.
down command.
Yeah. There
Three
it is,
white lights.
3 white lights. Now here, let's see how Mason Ross's deadlift moves in comparison to Stevens, went just before him. This will give him a 17.5 kilo lead over Steven.
Definitely not as easy as Stevens, but
And it will be interesting to see. So Mason's got the advantage, right? He's up 17.5 kilos over Steven. He might have to just not try to chase where Steven's going to go because Steven's deadlift moves so fast.
Yeah.
Mason potentially will just try to put on what he has on the day, pull before Steven, knowing that Steven's going to load up for the win, but try to push that gap even more so over 17.
and it's a fight on 1 from Lindsay.
That was a phenomenal last deadlift.
And the judges say
It's good.
It's a
3
good
white lights,
lift.
a good lift. Jacob Main on 2.
definitely looked a lot more convincing than his opener. Still 2-1.
Probably gets those red cards. Maybe for soft shoulders, that's kind of what you saw in the opening attempt.
Yeah.
Claire on platform 1, 125 kilos. She is repeating that, getting super fired up for this. Let's see if she can come back and hit it.
Just a little
Not
too
there
much on the
today.
day.
Now William Ball, 300 kilos. I feel like this
Very
is gonna fly, and
easy
it
work.
does. Oh my gosh. William Ball, everybody. That gave him a 783.5 kilo total. Now, that's just phenomenal. I mean, he is well ahead. He's going to walk away the national champion. Going to walk away with the world's team spot, all the more likely. Of course, they're not going to be decided tonight, but fortunately on platform 1, that's going to be a no lift for Eleanor. Dassel Kim on platform 2, 175 kilos for his final attempt. Yeah, I mean, for William, going back to William Ball, the world record deadlift in the class is 311 kilos. Looks like he has that, and let's see what he put in for his third attempt. He put 310.5 kilos. Okay. Insane that what some juniors are doing nowadays. He's not even fully fledged, filled out 93 kilo lifter. On platform 1, Rachel, 137.5 to close out her day. Trying to go 8 for 9. I think she's done it. Pretty solid. 3 white lights, it's a good lift.
Jeremiah Cruz on 2.
202.5 for his final attempt. He just knew it wasn't there. Annette on platform 1, 145 kilos for her final attempt.
Seems like a good attempt from Annette.
And it is 3 white lights. Platform 2, Angelo Carpino trying to end off his day with a 232.5 kilo deadlift. And on platform 1, we can see this 69 kilo battle unfold. Knowing that there are 2 69 kilo lifters later in the primetime session, or just one, excuse me, and that is Alexa Spursky, who will know exactly what she needs to total to come away the champion. But these lifters are still in the fight. They could still walk away with the silver medal. Katie.
See what judges say on 2. 2-1. Good lift.
Great lift there. Now Katie currently sits at a 337.5 kilo total. This gives her the lead for the time being over Pamela Riley. Can she lock it out?
I want to say that's yes.
That put her just over Pamela Riley if it is a good lift, and it is 3 white lights. Arian has done his job. Katie goes 8 for 9 on the day. Now just has to wait to see how Joan and Pamela respond.
Joan amped up on 1.
This will give Joan, currently in 3rd place, this will put her over the lead over Katie, being coached there by legendary game day handlers, the Garys. This will give her a 347.5 kilo total. Katie is currently at 345. Let's see if she can fight through that sticking point, lock it out, and she does.
It's a fight on 2 from Adam. Little too heavy.
And on 1, that is a good lift for Joan Hahn, pulling back into the lead over Katie Achille. But there is 1 lifter left. Pamela Riley, going to be putting on 155 kilos on the bar, 341 pounds, to pull for the lead over Joan based on body weight. Pamela Riley currently sitting in 3rd place with a 342.5 kilo total. Going to try to pull for a 347.5 kilo total, which Joan is currently at, but Pamela is lighter, will have the body weight advantage.
Yeah, and Roland on 2 has the opportunity to pull himself into 4th if he's successful with this lift.
Pamela's coming in fired up. This is her first national championship. Looking to pull into the lead of the regular session. Wow.
Very solid 3rd attempt from Pamela.
Let's see what the judges say, and it wasn't even that difficult. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. Pamela Riley has pulled herself into the lead for the time being. Of course, we're going to have 169 kilo lifter later, but
And
Pamela
Roland.
at worst will get silver medal in the class.
Yeah. And Roland successful with pulling himself into 4th because he did weigh in lighter than Adam, and they tied on total.
It's really awesome to see battles all across the board. Sub-juniors, masters, doesn't matter. There's going to be more and more battles as the talent pool grows, as the sport grows. David on 2, 260 kilos, 573 pounds.
Wow.
And he smokes it. Phenomenal day from David. 3 white lights, a good lift. Colin on platform 2. Colin missed his 2nd attempt, looking to come back and repeat that. In the sub-junior 93 kilo class.
See what Colin does on his 3rd, and we've got Amy coming out for 182.5 for her final attempt.
Phenomenal deadlift, 400 pounds for Amy Hutchinson. She's experienced. She's podiumed at
Wow. Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
And that grip gave out again.
Unfortunately, no lift on 2 for Colin. Fortunately for Amy, she locks out 182.5, and it is a good lift for Amy Hutchinson. Great day for her, 9 for 9. Now there's going to be a couple of 84 kilo lifters lifting in the primetime session later, but Amy at worst is going to walk away with a bronze medal in the class. And we are on to Flight B on platform 1. Mason Ross, platform 2, currently in 1st place. And yep, exactly what happened. Mason Ross decided to take a 7.5 kilo jump, while Steven has put in that 17.5 kilo jump to try to cover the gap if Mason were to miss. Now I expect if Mason hits this, they're gonna bump theirs up by 7.5. Go all in to pull for the win. Wow! And Mason Ross, 9 for 9 on the day.
Next on the platform, we have Aaron Hall.
682.5 kilo total, currently in the lead. Steven Newman, I expect them to put in an attempt change, unless they know that this is just where he's at for the day. Let's wait and see what they do. Platform 1, Aaron Hall, starting off with 142.5 kilos. So Steven Newman is going to opt not to pull for the win over Mason Ross. That means Mason Ross is your sub-junior 105 kilo national champion. Steven Newman, their coaching staff probably thought that 17.5 kilos was all he has. Let's see how this moves. 280 kilos, 617 pounds. Platform 1, Rebecca, 155 kilos for her opening attempt. Oh my gosh, yeah, I think that was all he had.
Every kilo he had.
Let's see what the judges say as well. Not sure if it was fully locked out. 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
Yeah, that looked like all he had at the lockout there.
And good opener for Rebecca on 1.
Next on the platform, we have Diane Arthur.
Diane coming out to 157.5 on 1. Jacob Main, I mean, this is a phenomenal deadlift as well for Jacob.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the bronze medal position in the 93 kilo class. But 302.5, nothing to sneeze at as a sub-junior 93 kilo lifter. See how he handles this.
It's a
shaky.
fight.
Can he lock it out? Drops it there. I think he's all right.
Might have cramped up a little bit.
Yeah, might have a little bit. I mean, these lifters really just leaving their heart on the platform.
Another platform 3, William Ball.
And William Ball is going to come out and finish up our first flight of deadlifts on platform 2. First, Michelle Harrell, 167.5 on platform 1. William Ball is going to be your national champion, putting up a phenomenal performance. I mean,
Perfect day so far.
yeah, if he hits this, he'll be at a 794 kilo total.
And it seems
And
like
he
he
with
does.
ease.
Wow.
William Ball drops his glasses, picks them up. Phenomenal day from William Ball. 794 kilos in the total. And if you are not aware how good that is, Malik Triolet from France hit 800.5 for the world record total. He was the first sub-junior ever to cross over the 800 kilo mark. And now William Ball, all of his lifts looked easy for the day, and he ends up with a 794 kilo total. I think he's going to end up on the world's team. I'm not sure if Malik has aged out, but if not, that's going to be a really phenomenal battle between the two. Both probably going over 800 kilos. Awesome job from William Ball on the day, your national champion.
Bart with an easy opener on 1 with 185.
Ron Breaker.
And Sage opening up Flight B with an opener of, I just missed it, 102.5.
Ron opening up with 190 kilos on platform 1. Look good for an opening attempt. Very slow controlled to sound the way down.
Next on platform 1, squad win. Over on 3, we have Shanti Kausa.
Shanti on 2, 142.5.
Easy opener from Shanti.
Next on platform 3.
We have Twan Win on 1 with an opener of 207.5. Pretty close sumo stance.
Yeah, kind of a hybrid, closer sumo. That gave Twan a 520 kilo total.
Next on platform 1, we have Huang Tai.
John on 2, opening up with 177.5.
Definitely convincing lockout there.
Caillou on platform 1 to 10 kilos will give him a 485 kilo total, while Ron Brinker currently sits at a 482.5. So a little bit of a jockeying there, kind of a battle to see who gets silver, who gets bronze in the 66 kilo class. But we have to check if there are any 66 kilo lifters lifting in the primetime session. Lift easy on 1.
Good lift for Alex.
And there are no 66 kilo lifters in the primetime session, so those placings are going to be decided right here in the second session.
Cherry coming out on platform 2, opening with 222.5, about 490 pounds.
Jonathan on 1, 220 kilos for his opening attempt. Jonathan, again, in a little bit of a battle there for silver and bronze medal between him and Ben Chu. Solid opener there. It's a good lift.
On platform, we got Ben Chu.
And here it is. We can see them go back to back between Jonathan and Ben Chu. This will give Ben Chu a 557.5, while Jonathan sits at a 560. Tight battles all across the board. Easy for Ben. Speaking of tight battles on platform 2, Trevor Klein, who walked away with the national record in the bench, an unofficial world record, opens up with 240 kilos. That gives him a 758 kilo total. If Ryan Musto hits his opener, he'll be at 767.5. I mean, that's just 9.5 kilos between the two. That's one missed deadlift. Anthony Perkins on 1, 240 kilos for his opening attempt.
Easy opening attempt from Tim on platform 2.
Good lift. Anthony Perkins really leading the way in the 83 kilo division. There are going to be a few 83 kilo lifters lifting later in the primetime session. He's going to try to put up the best total he possibly can in order to contend with them.
Ryan Donnelly coming up on platform 2, opening up with 245.
Platform 3, Ryan Donnelly.
Easy opener from Ryan. And starting our second attempts on platform 1, Erin Hall coming out, taking a 10 kilo jump from her opener.
Platform 2, Eric Taylor, 255. It was very well for him. Three white lights, that's a good lift.
Next on platform
Pretty solid second attempt from Erin there. 3 white lights.
around platform only at number 2, Borders.
Platform 2, Timothy coming out to 255 kilos for his opening attempt.
Easy opener from Tim.
Nefertiti on 1, 157.5 for her second attempt deadlift. Solid second attempt. Slower than the opener, but she's still got room to grow. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Now, Battle of the Michaels. Michael Jean Sr. coming out to 270 kilos for his opening attempt. There are a couple of 120 plus kilo lifters lifting later today. They will try to put up
Wow.
270 kilos. Moves easy for Michael Jean Sr. 3 white lights. It's a good lift. But yeah, these two lifters here in the 120 plus kilo division still going to battle it out. Still going to see who comes on top, because whoever comes away on top is guaranteed the bronze medal.
See what they say for Rebecca on 1. I'm not sure if that was fully locked out. 2-1, yeah.
Diane coming out to 167.5 for her second attempt. See how,
Wow.
both of them on platform 2. Michael Andrew and Michael Jean Sr. had very fast openers.
Curious to see where Michael goes up from there. Excuse me, Michael Andrew, because Michael Jean jumped up 15.
3 white lights on 1.
That's a platform 1. Michelle Harris.
Now Ryan Musto on 2.
Ryan Buster.
Gonna come out to 295 kilos. This will give Ryan a 767.5 kilo total, while Trevor Klein currently sits at a 758 kilo total. Michelle on 1. 175 kilos goes for her.
A little bit of a fight for Ryan on 2.
3 white lights regardless, but yeah, not sure how much room left he has in the tank.
Next up, platform 3. Sage back.
Bart Kwan on 1, 200 kilos for his second attempt.
Nice second attempt from Bart.
And it's a good lift.
Starting second attempts on 2, it's Sage back with 110.
That's a platform 1. Ron Brinker.
2-1, that's a good lift.
I think I saw the bar leave the ground a little bit before she actually attempted, so that's probably why she got the 1 card.
Platform 1, Ron Brinker. This will give him a 497.5 kilo total. And his direct competitor, putting him in the silver medal position provisionally, his direct competitor, Prayu Tan, also going to be, if he hits a second attempt, at a 497.5 kilo total. Could not be tighter between the two. Shanti on platform 2, 152.5 kilos for her second attempt. Makes it move pretty easily. 3 white lights is a good lift.
Twan Win on 1, jumping up 10.
Twan leads the way, and again, there's going to be no 66 kilos lifting later today. So Twan continuing to execute, trying to walk away with a national title under his belt. 3 white lights, good lift.
2-1 for John.
Next up on platform 1, Prayu taking the platform on 3, Alex
Wahyu on 1, 222.5 on the bar. This is going to give him a 497.5 kilo total, exactly the same as Ron Brinker, but Ron will be ahead based on weighing lighter. Platform 2, Alex Crooks, 205 kilos for his second attempt.
Nice second from Alex.
Oh, it's a bit of work for Hayu on 1.
See if that's fully locked out. See what the judges say on 1. Good
3
lift.
white lights, it's good. But yeah, not sure how much left he's got in the tank there. I mean, I assume he will likely either just go 2.5 or put on whatever he needs to pull for silver medal.
We've seen miracles.
For sure. Atre Uvest, 232.5 for his second attempt.
Seems like a good lift from him. We'll see what the judges say. Good lift.
Jonathan on platform 1, 230 kilos. Really had to stay patient there throughout the lift. Looks like he should get it. And he does, 3 white lights. Trevor Klein on platform 2, 255 kilos, adding 15 kilos to his total, pulling himself into provisional first. That gave him a 773.5 kilo total, while Ryan Musto currently at 767.5. And if you remember, his opener was not the absolute fastest, at least compared to Trevor's. Ben Chu on 1, 237.5 kilos. Going to pull him into provisional second place over Jonathan Hebreo. There it is, 3 white lights.
And good lift for Tim on 2 as well.
Platform 1, Anthony Perkins. Well ahead in the 83 kilo class. Quite a few different lifters lifting in the primetime session in the 83 kilo class. Anthony's going to want to try to put up the best total possible in order to contend with them. Eric Taylor on 2, 267.5 kilos.
Solid second from Eric. And same thing from Anthony.
To the 1, that's a good lift on platform 1. We are on to our third and final flight of deadlifts on platform 1, final round, excuse me. Platform 2, Ryan Donnelly, 267.5. Very close to 600 pounds. Doesn't really slow him down too much. 3 white lights, good lift. Now, Ryan Donnelly just went. He is in that Masters 120 kilo division. So is Timothy Mercer coming out to try to pull back into the lead over him. We're going to have one 120 kilo lifter later in the day. So whoever wins this battle between the two will be locked in silver medal. Unfortunately on one, that's going to be a no lift for Aaron Hall, likely for supporting on the thighs at the top.
Next up, platform 1, Rebecca Rakowski.
We've got Michael Jean Sr. on 2, going for 285.
Wow, and this is going to give him a 760 kilo total.
No slowing down
Moves
for him at
very
all.
easy. Three white lights, good lift. And same kind of issue there on platform 1. I'm not sure if that's going to go based on lockout. And it
Yeah,
doesn't.
unfortunately no lift.
Next up, platform 1.
Platform 2, Michael Andrew. 295 kilos on the bar for him.
It's wow. Same
My
thing, no
gosh.
slowing down.
3 white lights, it's a good lift, keeping him in silver medal, but only 5 kilos behind Michael Jean Sr.
Yeah, so Michael Jean just put in 297.5. We'll see what Michael Andrew puts in.
Coming up next on platform 1, Michelle Harrell. Next up, platform 3, Ryan Musto.
Platform 1, Michelle Harrell, 177.5 for her. In the lead in the 84 plus kilo division.
We'll see what judges say on one. It got a little stuck on her thighs.
And for Ryan Musto, that was pretty solid on 2 for 307.5 kilos.
2-to-1 good lift on 1.
So with that deadlift, Ryan Musto pulled back into the lead over Trevor Klein in that sub-junior 120 kilo battle. Diane Arthur, 180 kilos on the bar. 12.5 kilo jump from her second.
Platform 3, Sage back.
Actually trying to pull into provisional silver medal here.
It's a little bit too much on
She's
one
got
for
a
Diane.
lot of heart. She was fighting for a long time there.
Next up, platform 1, Ron Brinker.
Platform 1, Ron Brinker, 210 kilos for him. Platform 2, that was a good lift for Sage to end off the day. Platform 1, Ron Brinker, currently in silver medal, trying to push that up as much as possible. So Ryu cannot take that from him. It's a good lift, 2-to-1 for Ron Brinker, ending the day 9 for 9, 502.5. And that is really what experience will do for you. I mean, Ron, he's been to the World Championships multiple times, has that experience behind him, knows how to execute on the platform.
Shanty coming out on 2 for her final attempt of 165. It's a fight. Let's see if she can pull through. A little bit too much.
Yeah, just a little too much. She did take a relatively big jump, 12.5 kilos. She's still going to end off your sub-junior 84 kilo plus national champion.
And Bart, perfect day, 9 for 9, getting his 3rd attempt on deadlift.
John on 2, coming out to 195 kilos. John hasn't missed a lift on the day yet. Loved seeing the execution here from these sub-junior lifters.
And
pretty
same
good.
thing for John, 9 for 9 day.
Tuan on platform 1, coming out to the big 227.5 kilos, 501 pounds. He's already going to be your 66 kilo Masters 1 national champion. Wow. Awesome job there. 500 pounds from a 66 kilo lifter, Masters 1 lifter at that. Should get it, and he gets it. 3 white lights. Perfect day from Tuan Nguyen.
A little bit of a mishap on platform 2.
Yeah, there it is, no lift.
Strength wasn't the issue, he just lost his balance.
Attempt change in progress, platform 1. Coming next up, platform 2, a true vest.
Platform 2, Atreyu Vest. Going to be walking away your sub-junior 120 kilo plus national champion, no matter if he hits this or not. Trying to go 9 for 9 on the day.
Seems like he does.
Wow, phenomenal lifting from Atreyu. Your national champion ends off with a 630 kilo total. Now on platform 1, we've got a bit of a situation trying to have attempt changes so that Huayu can pull for the silver medal over Ron Brinker, but the bar always has to be rising in weight. So if you're following along on Lifting Cast or even on the stream, Ryu currently has 225, but he actually got a relift. He might, you know what? He might have put in the attempt change at the right time, but they didn't press the. I'm gonna stop talking.
We've been doing so good the whole stream.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. Essentially, there are attempt changes, right? You can change your third attempt deadlift twice, and that's where you see that jockeying around for position. They're trying to get that sorted on platform 1. So with Ryu, that was the right call. He hit 222.5. Ron hit his, or he actually didn't hit his third deadlift at 205, leaving him at a 497.5 kilo total. Ryu also currently at 497.5, so we just needed to jump 2.5. So that's when they put in the attempt change to go 225. But potentially they put in the attempt change on time, but it wasn't able to get through the scores table. So that's when another lifter went with 227.5, but you can't have that. You have to have a rising bar always.
Yep.
Platform 3, Eric Taylor.
Platform 1, unfortunately, it's going to be no lift for Jonathan.
Coming up, platform 1, Ben Chu.
Lots of attempt changes going on here. Ben Chu, 245 kilos on the bar. Was in a bit of a battle there for silver and bronze with Jonathan. But Jonathan missed his third deadlift, meaning that Ben is going to end up in the provisional silver medal. We are going to have a few 83 kilo lifters later. But Ben, 245 kilos on the bar for him.
And Eric also ending the day 9 for 9 with his 280 kilo final deadlift.
Awesome. That was a no lift on platform 1. Got blue cards, either for supporting the thighs or maybe a little bobble at the top, some downward motion.
Seems like they're going to be keeping in that attempt for Hawaii. He's going to be ending the flight, actually.
Platform 2, Timothy Mercer, 290 kilos on the bar for him. This is a big deadlift, 639 pounds. Wow, really great attempt for Timothy. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Timothy is in provisional first. And actually, Ryan Donnelly.
He has the chance to take that first spot away from Timothy.
Yep, he has put in a big jump here to going from 267.5 to 292.5 to try to pull into provisional first over Timothy Mercer. We are going to have a couple of 120 kilo lifters later, so placings aren't going to be fully decided yet. On platform 1, that was a no lift from Anthony Perkins, but he is still in provisional first.
It's a fight on 2. Can he lock it out?
Oh my gosh. To the top, but that is, you see
I want
the
to say
same.
that wasn't locked out.
I don't think it was either. See what they say.
It was still
Yep,
it was still a
not
good
locked
fight.
out.
It was still a very
It was
good
still,
fight.
and that's what you do. I mean, he had nothing to lose. Go for it. Like, why not? You're on the national stage. Just go for it. Placings are going to be decided later in the primetime session.
Now, Hawaii having the opportunity to pull himself into second place with his final pull.
Yeah, so what happened there is Hayu likely had in the attempt change on time, but just wasn't able to be communicated out to the platform. So they kept going with the attempts. But here we go. Pull for provisional silver medal. Or the silver medal. And good thing they let him get that relift.
Let's see what the judges say on platform 1.
3 white lights. Ryu has pulled into the silver medal position over Ron Brinker. And that is going to be the silver medal for him, given that there are no 66 kilo lifters in the primetime session.
Now, Michael Jean Sr. successful with his last attempt, giving him a 772.5 kilo total for the day. And we have a little attempt change for Michael Andrew, who's going to try to tie him on total And if he's successful with this, will pull himself into first place since he weighed in lighter than Michael Jean.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal. Just battles across the board. Battles for podium, battles for first place position. Really awesome to see. Now, that attempt change did change the order. So that's what would have happened on platform 1, but the attempt change for the 66 kilo lifter just wasn't able to be communicated in time. Now, Ryan Musto, currently in silver medal in the sub-junior 120 kilo division, just needs 2.5 up to pull himself into first over Trevor Klein. Let's see if he can do it. Currently in silver medal with 780. Trevor Klein at 780.5. What a tight battle between the two. This has been all day. Let's see Ryan Musto pull this off.
And
oh my gosh, and it's a fight at the top. Can he lock it out?
wow.
Phenomenal lifting there. Gotta wait to see what the judges say. And he gave it his all. That's what you gotta do. He had silver medal secured. Really exciting way to end the day between the two. Trevor Klein is gonna end up your sub-junior 120 kilo national champion, beating out Ryan Musto by 0.5 kilos. Cannot get any closer than that.
This is why that chip advantage is so important.
Exactly. And now our final deadlift of day 2, session 2 of H Division Nationals. Michael Andrew
Wow. Oh.
pulling into provisional first.
Same
Again,
thing.
so fast off the floor. Just can't lock it out. That means that was another phenomenal battle between Michael Jean Sr. and Michael Andrew. Michael Jean Sr. going to be provisionally in first place. There are 2 120 plus kilo lifters in the primetime session. At worst, he can walk away with a bronze medal. That's a phenomenal job from him. And that is it for day 2, session 2 of Powerlifting America Classic Age Division Nationals. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a really great session full of battles all across the board. Battles for first, battles for the podium. It's been a great time. You are not going to want to go far as our first primetime session of Age Division Nationals. This is going to be the Masters 1 primetime session. It's going to start at 6 p.m. local time. Don't miss it. Don't go far. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Adriana Davis. I've been joined in the booth by Tim Thibodeau, and we will see you at 6 p.m. tonight.